This is WRAL-TV 5, Raleigh, Durham, Fayetteville. From your 24-hour news source, this is the 11 o'clock news with Charlie Gaddy, Donna Gregory, meteorologist Greg Fischel, and Tom Suter with sports. This is WRAL-TV 5 News.
Good evening. Severe weather across the South today has killed at least 14 people. We had our share of rough weather here in North Carolina. Luckily, no reports of serious injury. We have damage reports coming up, but first let's go to Greg Fischel to give us the very latest update on the weather. Greg?
Well, Charlie, all watches and warnings have expired. Things are definitely settling down. This is the radar picture that we're looking at now, where even back here most of the regular showers are ending. There are some stronger showers and perhaps some thunderstorms here from just south of Goldsboro down into western Duplin County, but nothing severe with it at all, and all racing off to the east and northeast. So the worst is definitely over, and we have much better things to look forward to for the Easter weekend. We'll outline that in detail in just a few minutes. Charlie?
Okay, Greg, thank you. Today's storms did tonight. At least 24 Raleigh people are evacuated from their homes because of a chemical spill. We'll have that story and more in just a moment. And the man who helped President Bush win the election died today of a brain tumor. We'll be back.
TV5 News is closed caption for the hearing impaired. Funding is provided in part by Kaiser Permanente.
2 people were injured and more than 24 others were evacuated after a chemical spill this afternoon. The spill took place at a trucking company in West Wake County. 50 gallons. Now here's one of the hardest working guys at the station today.
Well,
up, down and around, and here you go again.
I appreciate you saying that, but I also want to credit Bill Schmidt and Glenn Schwartz.
Sure.
Also spent an awful lot of time in here today, and we would not have gotten on the air a couple of times without their help. But things are settling down very, very nicely, and we've got good news for the Easter weekend. No 80-degree temps, but at least it'll be quiet. We'll be back to talk about it in just a minute. All right, we did make it up to 76 officially at RDU, which seems like an awfully long time ago. That was before the thunderstorms arrived this afternoon. And then we dropped to 56 in those thunderstorms, and we are recovering now. The atmosphere is desperately trying to creep the warmth and moisture and instability back in here, but not succeeding very impressively at the moment. The humidity, 100%, pressure is low, but beginning to rise, and the winds are still out of the south at 8 miles per hour. At 11 o'clock, temperatures are in the 50s from Asheville to Greensboro and up to Roxboro. Even Jackson still sitting at 57, but there are some 60s that have crept back around Raleigh and Southern Pines and Fayetteville. And the really warm, moist, juicy, unstable air still in place from Wilmington to Hatteras, where temperatures are near 70 and the winds are still gusty out of the southwest. The radar loop going back to 6 o'clock. Remember when we had the line of thunderstorms going through Goldsboro? We'll watch that shift off to the east. And really all we had the rest of the evening were patches of moderate to heavy rain, over an inch at the airport so far with this system. And you see some heavy showers from just south of Goldsboro on down into Duplin County, some other showers here. And the cold front hasn't even gone through Asheville yet. So until it goes through later tonight, we still have to mention the possibility of a shower or perhaps a thunderstorm. But the really unstable air is gone. So it's going to be tough for this thing to generate anything very impressive from this point. Here's the southeastern satellite loop. You see the red cloudiness, in other words, the stuff that towers high into the atmosphere, but now things are drying out. All the big thunderstorms offshore, and on the southern edge of that cloud area, snow. Snow coming down to beat the band, at least briefly, across parts of east central Kentucky during the past couple of hours, but it's not going to last too long. That's the stuff that could have been in Indianapolis today, but just missed them to the south and east. In fact, here is the storm system over Asheville, but again, the really warm, moist, unstable air is down here. That's where it's juicy. This is what I call boring air in here. It's air that's been cooled down by thunderstorms. It's moist enough to produce rain, but not juicy enough to produce anything more than that. And then cold back in here, and again, that snow falling. It was snowing all the way down to Memphis, Tennessee during the course of the evening hours, although it has now quit. Well, if you're headed to the beaches this weekend, it certainly won't be sunbathing weather, but temperatures will be acceptable. 60s tomorrow, maybe a morning shower or thunderstorm, but thereafter dry. Still watching a second system for Sunday, which the computers are just nervous enough about to make me nervous, but the worst that could happen would be a couple of showers or sprinkles. The north and northeast winds will be stiff on Sunday, and that'll keep temperatures cool. All right, if you're headed back to the mountains, a cool, dry weekend, mid-40s to mid-50s both days. Overnight lows getting quite chilly by Sunday, mid-20s to low 30s. Around here the rest of the night, we'll say showers ending, although we can't guarantee they'll completely end until about 3 or 4 in the morning, because that's when the front will more than likely come through, and the winds will shift to the west and northwest. Partly cloudy, wake up, and 64 absolute tops tomorrow. That's about as good as we can do, and we may fall short of that. North and northwest winds 10 to 15. Tomorrow night, colder, down to 38, and with the wind blowing, it'll feel pretty brisk out there. Sunday never gets out of the 50s with a mixture of clouds and sun, and then Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday all look nice. And the latest 6 to 10 day forecast, which is interesting to look at and sometimes reliable, indicates that we'll be heading into a period of above normal temperatures and below normal precip. So if that's right, we'll have an extended period like that, which will be nice.
Sounds good to me.
Have a good Easter.
Happy Easter to you. Thank you very much, Greg. Rick Sullivan, here you go.
Well, Charlie, I don't want Tom to have to stand out there in the cold too long, because I was looking at the picture over there, and it does look chilly in Indianapolis. So the Final Four, we're going to be taking you to it in just a minute, so stick around. It's the eve of the Final Four.
Returns to the Church for Health.
As you can see, there's been a little change.
Well, speaking for myself, I like your hair like that.
Can the deacon keep his cool?
Water's boiling.
When it's time to play doctor,
I'm going to count to 3, and I want you to take a deep breath and try to push your lungs out through your feet.
on the next Amen.
Weeknights at 11:30 on WRAL-TV 5.
All right, it's Final Four Eve, and right now let's go to Indianapolis. Tom Suter's standing by live. Tom, you had a lot of stuff going on today, some interviews, some practices, a little all-star game action. I guess the smoke blowing is just about over.
Sully, they keep telling me we're up. I know that I'm up. All right, here we go. The talk is over. It's time now to play basketball. They're going to do it tomorrow afternoon right here on the Big Five.
That's our newscast for tonight. I'm Charlie Gaddy. We thank you all for being with us. We wish you a wonderful Easter holiday, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Good night.
This is WRAL-TV 5, your 24-hour news source. If you see news happen, call our news hotline at 1-800-245-WRAL.